welcome to the Circle. I am Morgana Brid, and this is Circle Chat, and today we are talking about candle magic. So today we are talking about candle magic. I just want to let you guys know that I have my Magic is Everywhere mug. I just want to show you this mug because I enjoy it, with my turmeric and ginger tea. I think it's like ginger meadow sweet tea, with a turmeric overall kind of base. From it's just traditional medicinal, so you can probably find it in any grocery store. But this mug is on the Maiden Circle website at our store, so go check that out. We also have a pen, we have a notebook. We're gonna have some clothes coming up soon, so go check out our Maiden Circle store and get yourself a nifty, beautiful mug just like this one. I'm actually gonna put this down because it's really, really hot still. It's actually just out of the kettle, so not trying to burn my tongue. I did that like 2 days ago, and today is like the first day I'm not feeling that, you know, when you burn your tongue when you eat something really, really hot, that like weird burned feeling. Today's the first day in 2 days that I'm not feeling that, so I am not going to risk it by trying to sip that super hot tea. Anyway, let's get into the topic. If you are new to the channel, this is the Circle Chat, in which I talk about my spiritual practice, the things I believe in and understand, or I talk through them to see if I understand them, to be more clear. This isn't something that I generally will do a lot of preparation for. I just kind of am talking and working through these ideas and hopefully hearing back from you guys on how you practice and what you believe in and how you use certain things. Last week we had sex magic, still waiting to hear back from some people about that. And this week we are talking about candle magic because candles are really cool. Candles are really useful. And like I did say, I don't really prepare these videos in advance, so I'm going to try to keep it as sensible as possible without getting too rambly. I'm going to try to keep it relatively short. I try not to make these much longer than 10 to 15 minutes, if that. So candle magic, basically, if you missed the last video, magic itself is just kind of using your will and your intention to create change in your life. Working with vibrational frequencies is kind of the way I see it. Working with things on a very quantum level, from the smallest atom kind of area, and creating change through my emotional, spiritual, physical will, and by affecting my own personal vibrations and that kind of creates a ripple effect around me. So that's what I think of magic. I think of the tools that we use as a way to enhance those vibrational frequencies and enhance our focus as well, so that our will is stronger, so that we're more focused on the outcome that we're searching for. We can use things like candles to meditate. We can use candles to represent something specifically. So when I do candle magic, often it is I'll use it for either very small, quick spells, and I'll also use candle magic for bigger rituals, and I also use candle magic for maintenance. So it's kind of my way of offering something to the universe every day. I do have a candle on my altar. I keep a white candle on my altar that I light every day or every other day. I try to do it every day if I have it, and if I remember, and if I'm home, because obviously I don't want fire burning while I'm not home. But generally I'll just try to keep it frequently lit, and I'll say a quick prayer when I'm at home, and it'll burn all day, or burn, if it's a tea light, it'll burn out. And I just try to that is how I offer myself. I offer energy to the universe every day. I take some time and I say a prayer and I light a candle, and I am offering this fire, offering this energy to the universe in return for my many blessings and in gratitude for my many blessings. And that's basic, just using candle as honoring the universe, and that is magic in and of itself. But obviously you probably came here to understand how candles work in spell work. So when it comes to spells, I will be very specific about the candles I use, and I tend to dress them up really nicely. And I didn't used to do that in the past though. If you're just beginning, it's really cool to just have a tea light candle, maybe sprinkle some oil and some herbs on it, and then you have a candle right there. Or you can Or you can carve runes or sigils or something in the wax, and then you have a magical candle there. And it's really, really simple. That's one of the reasons I love candle magic, is because you can do pretty much anything with it, and all you need is a white candle. For specific spells, I will start using candles of color. Like whenever I need to get a job, I burn a green candle. I haven't needed to get a new job in a while now, and I got a part-time job like a year ago, and then a year and a half ago actually now, and then longer than that. It was a year in April. So I got a part-time job a year ago in April, and for that I did light a green candle. My nannying job, I lit a green candle. Sometime in between that, I needed a job at a cafe. Green candle. Every time I lit a green candle, I got the job. Sometimes I would light it just for an interview, and I would get the interview. So that is like one of my most reliable practices. One of my most reliable spells is that green candle spell. I will write or carve in the wax what I want, like whether it's the job, whether it's a certain type of salary, whether it's just some other beneficial abundance. Then I'll carve it in the wax, burn my green candle, and generally I will get what I need pretty quickly. And so that is my go-to abundance spell. Anything I need, green candle. It's also great for healing, because green is a color for healing. So when it comes to candle magic, I tend to be very holistic in most of my magic, and especially with candle magic, I think of like what colors I can use, what days work, like if I'm doing something for love, whether that's self-love or romantic love, I would light maybe a pink or a red candle, and I do a spell on a Friday, because that's the day of love. That's Aphrodite and Venus's day. That's the day of the heart. So I would choose a Friday with my pink candle to enhance personal self-love or bring more love into my personal relationships. Or, if I want lust or romance, maybe I would do a red candle, and maybe I do that on a Sunday. And I'm not sure why I'm thinking Sunday. That's just something that just came to my head, but like I feel like Sunday is a day for spending time in bed, you know what I mean? It's a day for being chill, being relaxed. And when I think of romance, when I think of love, even when I think of sex, I think of that as more of just kind of this thing that you feel out. It's not supposed to be stressful. It's not supposed to be like a work. It's not supposed to be, something that makes you nervous or uncomfortable or feel unpleasant, because then you're not having a good time and you're not really, enjoying the sexual activity. So Sundays are a day where you're supposed to rest and you're supposed to relax and you're supposed to be kind of chill. And so I would maybe do a spell on that. So I really tend to think about the overall for my more in-depth candle rituals. Also, like I said, with colors, I would use red for lust. I would use like yellow for communication or for friendship, especially friendship. Yellow is the color of friendship. Giving a yellow rose, that is the rose for friendship. I would use a blue candle specifically for easing communication or opening up my throat chakra. I will also do that where I coordinate the candle colors to my chakras depending on what I'm trying to do. So if I'm doing a very spiritual ritual or something that has to do with like wishes or like just kind of achieving big dreams, I'll use a purple candle because that is the witchy color, and that is also the color of the crown chakra. So that is the color that I'm using to connect most with source or with the divine spirit. So yeah, candles are just really, really easy and really versatile and really simple. If you're starting out using spell work, I recommend candle work to most of my students, most of my pagan friends. I will point out that just using a white candle is a great way to at least hone your focus. If you have a white candle, it's very common. I think everybody knows about it. It's basically just this meditation practice where you have a white candle and you stare at it and you focus on the flame, you focus on the fire. In magic, you can go a little bit further in when you get to a point where you're comfortable with the actual focusing exercise. Then you get to a point where you start to expand the light of the flame, and that's something that when I was starting out using candle magic and trying to like really get in touch with my spiritual abilities, this is a practice that I would do very frequently. So you look at the light after you've gotten used to meditating with it, and then you kind of watch the flame in your mind expand. and it's like in your mind you're seeing this light expand and contract and expand and contract, and eventually you're expanding it further and further. And I remember one very significant time that I'd written in my book of shadows, I was doing this exercise, and I'd done it quite a few times before that, but I was doing it this one time, and I don't remember what was happening in my life, but it was very close to a shift that has been going on for like the last 5 years now. So this was about 5 years ago, and I've gone through a huge shift since then, since moving to New York, since going to ADA and getting out of ADA, and then just trying to figure out what I really wanted from my life. I was going through this big mental shift. And so at this time I was doing this meditation exercise, and I was letting myself see the flame expand, and in my mind the flame like jumped on me, and it like I was on fire, but only in my mind. Like I was meditating. This was like just me staring at this flame. No one was in danger, but in my head it was just I was on fire, and I was like burning to ash. But it wasn't like painful, it wasn't scary, it was like, this is something that needs to be happening. It was a cleansing, and it was just this beautiful thing. And then like towards the end, when the candle was burning down, it like went whoosh, and what I saw, and I remember because I wrote it down, and it's the only reason I remember it, but I saw a phoenix, like the shape of a phoenix in the flame, and I was like, okay, so this was looking back, that was a ritual that ended up being a symbol for rebirth for me, a symbol of regrowth. And I haven't I'm still Victoria, I'm still the person that I've always been, but this person has grown and changed so much that the Victoria that I was like 10, 11 years ago would, well, for one, I think she'd be ecstatic for who I am now, but I'm not sure she would have even believed that I could be this person, or that she could have evolved into this person and into this life, and the life that I'm still evolving into, the life I'm still growing into. So that was a really significant thing, and all I had in that moment was a white candle. That's all I was using. So candle magic can be extremely powerful without even trying. It can be extremely helpful. It's a wonderful way of connecting with the universe. It's a wonderful tool for expanding your energy, expanding your spiritual power, and making things happen. I also use candles in any ritual that requires burning something, because I would rather burn my things on a candle that has been blessed and prayed over than just using like a lighter. I will do that if it's something very quick. I did a pay me my money spell a couple months ago, and that was really just a match and paper and woof, in the sink. So you can do it anyway, but I do like candles because they also tell me a lot about how my magic is working. So if I'm doing a big ritual especially, those tend to, for me, I tend to just let my candles burn out. I don't like to put them out. I don't like to blow them out. If I'm doing a big ritual, I will let it burn out. However long that takes, I don't sleep at night anyway, so I'll probably be up while the candle is burning. And then as it's burning, usually when it gets towards the bottom, I can kind of tell what energy my spell has developed. You can tell also with just how they burn, as even when you start burning them, do they pop a lot? Is there a lot of black smoke? Does the wax pour into teardrops? Does the wax immediately disappear? Do they smell weird? Do they spread out? So candle magic isn't just about burning the candles, it's also about the remnants, the aftermath, any shapes that are left in the wax at the end of it. And when I'm doing a lot of my spells that I do, my candles will tell me a lot. I've had candles that will say, okay, there are going to be a lot of tears involved in this situation. There's a lot of power here. I've had candles that set off the smoke alarm after burning for 10 hours straight, when there looks like there's no wick and it looks like there's no more wax, but there's still fire burning, which tells me that the spell is probably going to take a long time to actually manifest. And it's also going to be extremely I don't want to say, it's going to be very powerful, but very gentle. So it's going to be gradual changes are going to happen, and it's not something that I'm just going to see immediately. So I have to keep my eyes open to the gradual changes and not lose hope as it's going, depending on what the spell is. Sometimes that slow burn just means that this is going to either take too long to happen, or it's not going to happen. It really is up to how you feel. It's really important that we listen to our intuition when it comes to these spells, when it comes to using candles, using any kind of magic. Really, it's really about us internally. It's about you how you feel about what you're doing, how what's happening in front of you, especially when it comes to candle magic, how that's resonating with you. So if it's popping a lot and you're feeling excited, then that could just mean like a lot of like cool things are about to happen, and they're going to happen rapidly and fast. But if it's popping a lot and you're feeling a little bit of dread or discomfort, then that could just mean there's going to be some upset, or there are going to be some surprises that you're not necessarily going to like. Okay, so it's really, really an individual experience. And also, you know, there's the internet, so you can take other people's individual experiences and kind of use that to see what really resonates and what sticks with you. Because at the end of the day, we are all kind of a consciousness. We're all able to tap into the same consciousness, I should say. We're all able to tap into the same understanding, the same knowledge, same information. So even though they are individual experiences, the information you're getting comes from a larger source. So it is okay to like do some research a little bit, but at the end, like at the core of the magic, it's really about how you feel in your soul, how you feel internally, like what's going on in there. And when it comes to candle magic, there could be so many different meanings, so many different things, so many different experiences. I recommend picking up some candle books. I have this one. It is called Practical Candle Burning Rituals by Raymond Buckland. Raymond Buckland is a prominent author in the pagan community. He has been around for literal decades. He is one of the very first people to bring Wicca to the United States. After a brief correspondence with the Wicca founder, Gerald Gardner. So Raymond Buckland is someone I love and trust. This book I actually, I think it belonged to a former roommate of mine, but I've used it quite a few times. I still have like bookmarks in here and stuff. And yeah, it's a really useful book for spells. It also has a little bit of information, just a little, about like what candle magic is, and kind of how it's used or how to prepare yourself for rituals, but it's mostly just the rituals. And it's really useful because they're easy, they're simple. You can try them out if you're a little bit more used to using candle magic. If you're new to candle magic, still take a look at them, but maybe try a couple of different smaller things like the money spell, the abundance spell that I mentioned, the meditating practice with the white candle. You can try that. Do maybe a daily offering, burning of a candle, or just something to continuously put energy into your practice. That's really important for me. So do that regularly. Take a look at this book, see if anything sparks your interest. I actually used this book years after I started my pagan practice. So I really don't know. I can't really say if it's good for beginners, but it's so simple and like easy to read and easily clearly written that I think if you are a beginner, this could be a good start for you. So check that out. Let me know how you use candles in your magic. I do hope that this wasn't too rambly for you. Like I said, I didn't really prepare a bunch. I just kind of talked, and hopefully it made some sense to you. Hopefully it gave you guys some ideas to use for your candle magic. If you have any questions, something that I didn't explain very clearly that I may have mentioned, let me know in the comments. Anything you need to know about Maiden Circle or me are also in the comments, and I will see you in our next circle chat. Please be sure to check out our tarot readings. The life path readings are up, and it is Friday, so the life path reading for number 11 and 22 should have been up by this morning or last night. So enjoy those. I'll see you next time. Remember always that I love you. Take care. Bye.